Welcome to part 39 of the Dogs of Ancient Egypt. Dog number 222 is a super interesting one because it comes from a relatively well-documented tomb in Giza, which is hard to say sometimes. Let's check it out. So this dog is found in the mastaba of Iasen, which is number G2196 in the Western Cemetery of Giza. Here you can see the pyramid of Khufu, or Cheops, as some of the Greeks know. And this is the Western Cemetery. And Iasen is going to be kind of around that area where the arrow is, just in that northern part of it. The interesting part about this mastaba is because of the natural level of the ground, he was able to actually create a classic mastaba, which is this kind of large rectangular shape with different shafts for the burials. But he was also able to have a rock-cut chapel out of this kind of natural, just like high rise of the ground. So this area was excavated between 1911 and 1916 by George Reisner with the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. The tomb includes the surface mastaba, or solid bench-like structure, a rock-cut chapel, and 12 funerary shafts. Here is the little courtyard, and then you kind of go into the corridor to be able to get into the room, the rock-cut chapel. Iasen held a lot of titles, including supervisor of the 6 tenant farmers of the palace, custodian of the document container of the king's decrees, wab priest of the king, known of the king, priest of Khufu, keeper of secrets, otherwise known as privy councillor, tenant farmer, supervisor of the wab priests, and supervisor of the tenant farmers. He was also married to a woman named Mary Tedes, who held the title of wife, his beloved, and royal acquaintance. He probably at least had one son named Mariank, who held the title of wab priest of the king, royal acquaintance, and tenant farmer of the palace. So when you head inside the rock-cut chapel, it is just a small little rectangular room, but we still have some preserved paint, which is just like amazing for an Old Kingdom tomb. The dog can be found here on the south wall, and you see Iasen sits here in a very high back chair while receiving a lotus flower from his son. He is looked on by a variety of servants carrying different possessions for their master, like writing tools and cases for things in the archives. The dog is laying down here underneath his chair, and he is unnamed, though there is a space in the chair, and you can see it. This is a drawing on top of the actual image, so you can kind of see some of the details. There might have been something there. There's like space, so maybe, but has not been preserved. But the dog has the typical curly tail as well as the coil collar for an Old Kingdom dog. Let me know if you want to know more about the tomb of Iasen. There is a great article about it on this tomb on osirisnet.net. If you don't know about that website, you are absolutely missing out. They have a ton of extremely detailed depictions and breakdowns of Old Kingdom and New Kingdom tombs with tons and tons of pictures. And then, since this is found in Giza, it is also included on Harvard's Digital Giza website, which has a lot of original photos and drawings from the original excavation. And what is even greater is there is actually a virtual tour of this tomb on Matterport.com. Go and check it out if you want to learn more about Iasen.